Former Senator Scott Brown of Massachusetts, who joins us now live. He's also a Fox News contributor. Breaking news happening today, Senator. Thanks for being on The Real Story. We're reporting now that Belgian authorities telling us that 10 houses were searched in this raid, that 2 or 3 people have been killed. The suspects opened fire on authorities. We don't know if anyone else was taken into custody. In a separate incident, Senator, apparently the alleged arms dealer to one of the Paris suspects turned himself in to police. So there appears to be a Paris connection, at least with that, potentially not with this thwarted terrorist attack in Belgium. What do you make of it?
Well, first of all, it's unfolding, as you know and as you've heard. There clearly is an uptick in what's happening not only in Europe, in the surrounding areas, but potentially in the United States. Everybody is on high alert as a result of what happened in Paris. So let's take it back and just look at the United States, for example. What's the greatest thing that we can do right now to make sure that the threats are lessened? We've already identified upwards of 100 people who have gone over to fight in Iraq and Syria. They're United States citizens using the freedom and hiding behind their rights and privileges as United States citizens. How about taking away those passports and keeping them there so they can't come home? Legislation that I filed along with Joe Lieberman, Ted Cruz has filed it. It hasn't even brought up. That's the easiest and simplest thing we can do right now. And I would obviously recommend that Congress start to be proactive instead of always reactive.
Well, Congress was proactive, speaking of Gitmo and detainees and returning to the battlefield. Approximately 30% of them, when they're released from Gitmo, go back to terrorism. I'm not sure if that has anything to do with what's going on in Belgium right now, but Congress did try to stop the president from continuing to release Gitmo prisoners. And he just released 5 more overnight, Senator. What do you make of that?
Well, listen, I was at Gitmo. I remember looking through the glass at Khalid Sheikh Mohammed and viewing that facility. It's top-notch. They have a top-notch courtroom. They need to do one of 2 things. They either need to prosecute them, try them, and then as a result either release them or incarcerate them, or if the death penalty is warranted, that's appropriate. But just to continue to release them with the president's authority, I believe, is exceeding that authority. I believe that Congress should immediately bring legal action to find out what and whether he is exceeding his authority. But it's not helping. The fact that we're releasing more terrorists into the battlefield is no surprise that there's an uptick. And there's no surprise as a result of the president drawing that red line and then not doing anything about it, that there's been an uptick around the world of a lack of respect by our foes and fear by our foes.
Right. You're talking about the red line that he drew and then took back with Syria when they were gassing
Correct.
And killing their own people.
Yep.
Senator Scott Brown, thank
Correct.
you so much for your insights today and joining The Real Story.